Hey everyone, it's Brian here. And as you know, I fix people's credit so they can go on and enjoy the life that they deserve. So today I want to talk about, do you have too many names recorded on your credit report? We talked about this a couple months ago, but I want to reiterate it and reiterate why it is important to clean up the names and addresses on your credit report. What I want to explain to you is that if you haven't pulled your credit, go somewhere and pull your credit. Go to annualcreditreport.com. Just go there and record and download your credit reports from there. Look at the personal information pages of those credit reports. I can tell you that I pulled mine, and on my Experian credit report, this wasn't recent, it was a while back, but because I've cleaned everything up since then, I had 5 versions of my name, and I had 18 addresses recorded on my credit report. That's just on one credit report. That was just on Experian. 5 versions of my name and 18 addresses recorded. So some of those addresses were things like an ex-wife's address, my son, two or three of them belonged to my son. Some of them were an address of a lawyer that I had used in the past, where I had obviously never lived, never even stepped foot in the office. It was a lawyer I used for some business information, updating with the state of Florida. 18 versions of my address, 5 versions of my name. I have seen men that have 19 versions of their name recorded. I mean, typically you would think that that might be more common for females because females change their name, but it happens to men and women alike. So why is it a problem? There are 2 reasons why that's a problem. The first reason is the more versions of your name and address that are recorded, the easier it is for someone to steal your identity. That just makes sense, plain and simple. That just makes sense. The more names and addresses you have recorded, the easier it is for somebody to steal your identity and open up credit in your name, cause all kinds of headaches for you. I can just about bet that there's somebody watching this video who has had their identity stolen before. Here's the other reason why it is important to clean those up, and you want to get it down to one name and one address, okay? If you have recently moved and there was an address that was recorded within the last 2 years, you could leave that second one there, but you really want one name and one address. And if you have that other address that was recent, you definitely do not want more than 2. Another reason for that is because if you want to start making corrections or deleting derogatory information or incorrect information from your credit reports, the first method of verification that the credit bureaus use is they look for a name and address match. So if you have 5 versions of your name and 18 addresses recorded, it's obvious to see how much easier you're making that easier for them to verify information when they're really not verifying it. All they're looking for is a name and address match. So when you have that many combinations that they can match up, that ends up being a huge number, and it makes it very easy for them to keep inaccurate or derogatory information on your credit report. Those are the 2 reasons why you just need to take this part of your credit serious. Even if you have good credit, this part is important. How do you go about cleaning those up? Okay, here's how. I'm going to use my own example. Okay, when I disputed those addresses and names, the method of disputing them is you write a letter to the credit bureaus. Okay, this is a letter that you're going to type on your computer, you're going to print out, okay, you're going to put in an envelope and mail certified. Okay, do not try to correct this information online. Just do it my way. Print it out and mail it certified. What you're going to do is however many just pick the version of your name that is your legal name that you want to use, okay, and then dispute those other names by name. I mean, one of mine that I would dispute was it was Brian K. Dockery Sr. I'm not a senior. That does not belong on my credit report. So on that part of my dispute, I would say to myself, I would say to them, okay, please remove this version of my name from all records because this is not my correct name. Please remove it. And you're going to want to dispute those. Each version of your name you're going to want to dispute. Same thing with your addresses. You're going to want to dispute them by address. You're going to, if I had 18 versions of my address, I disputed 17 of them because one of them was correct. That's where I live. I disputed all the other 17, and I didn't necessarily say I only have one address and I want it to be this. All others need to be deleted. I went through address by address and said, this is not my address. This is not my address. This is not my address. I have never lived at this address. Please delete this from my credit report. And so I got it down to one name and one address. Not as important is you can delete where you are occupied and phone numbers from your credit report. I would suggest you do that while you're typing a letter. Go ahead and just get those removed from your credit report as well. Like I say, they're not as important, but while you're at it, go ahead and dispute those and just get them off. What's the reason? Well, for your phone number, trust me, those phone numbers get sold all over the place. That's why you get spam on your phone. That's why you get robocalls. So, eliminate that phone number from public record, and you're going to get less of that stuff right there. So, that's the lesson for today on why you probably have too many names and addresses on your credit report. So, like again, I say, go to annualcreditreport.com, pull those credit reports, look at the personal data portion of that, and what you want to do is go and dispute all of the names and addresses that are not correct. You want to get it down to one name and one address, okay? And that's what you're going to do. Believe me, it's going to help you moving forward. It's going to help you with your credit. It's just going to be a smart thing to do. Even if you already have good credit, it's something you need to do anyway, okay? So if you have any questions, you can feel free to inbox me. If you want to work with me directly on credit, I will be happy to help. And as always, I like to say peace, love, and good credit, and I will see y'all again later this week. Hope to see you soon. Bye.